Approximately 7 years ago, at the age of 49, I suffered a minor heart attack. I had had heart issues in past, most of which were due to having been treated for cancer. At the age of 22, was told then that I may experience heart problems later in life due to the chemotherapy radiation treatments. As I reached my late 40s, indeed these things did begin to come to fruition: multiple stents, pacemaker. But this was first actual heart attack. To get to the point, I was working out of town as a driver/salesman for a freight company, maybe an hour from our home. When unloading at a customer, I noticed I was getting short of breath with exertion. Well, I thought, great, time to go get a new stent placed as in times past. So I called my wife, a nursing home administrator an hour away where we lived, explained the situation, and said I felt okay as long as I wasn't exerting. So I made the decision to drive myself home, knowing the nursing home was next to a hospital that had a cardiac clinic, thinking it would be easier for her if I was put in hospital. Not the smartest decision, I know, but I made it. Upon entering the emergency room and stating heart issues, they took me back right away, and after testing, returned a while later stating that I had a mild heart attack and would be sending me back to have the blockage opened. A couple days later, I was released and went home. This is when the fun started. About the second night at home, I was having trouble sleeping, tossing, turning, just couldn't get comfortable. Not wanting to wake my wife, I moved to the couch in living room. As I laid down, I was facing the back of sofa still, unable to go to sleep, when suddenly, I sensed a presence enter our home through a large front door. I was still facing the back of sofa, but could sense, in my spirit, every move this thing was making, and could see it somehow by the spirit. It was huge and dark, as tall and wide as the door itself, and I was watching as it made its way around a wall into the living room. As it reached where I was laying, it stopped and faced me, still laying on my side facing back of sofa, and fully awake. Suddenly this thing put its massive hands on my shoulder and hip area and began to press down to the point I was losing breath and thought I was about to go through the bottom of sofa, barely able to form a word. I finally spit out my wife's name for help. Then it dawned on me. What could she possibly do? My next thought was Jesus, should have been my first, and finally struggled enough to get that name barely out. And as soon as it came out, poof, this massive presence seemed to explode in smoke and was gone. And with that I sat up on the side of sofa, tears flowing, shaking like a leaf, and in front of me, on the wall I was facing, was a brilliant light. It lingered for a second, and disappeared as quickly as it came. I was in awe, and then my mind started to try and reason, as they do, to explain it away. The sun had just started to come up, so I told myself it was just sunlight coming through the window of the door. Then it dawned on me, you idiot, it's not even completely daylight yet, and our door faces south. Right after this, my wife opens the bedroom door and finds me sitting on sofa, crying like a baby, telling her Jesus was just here. Have had many spiritual experiences in my life, many great stories that I continue to fall back on when my faith is suffering, but this one will always be at the very top of ones I love to tell. Thank you, Father, for the name above all names, that at that name every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, and the demons tremble.
Do you have a near-death experience you would like to share? Comment your story below or send your story using the Dropbox link in the bio. Thank you all for watching. God bless.